Well, hey everybody, my name is Nick Furman. I'm a professor at the University of Georgia, and I'm coming to you today from a greenhouse on campus right here in Athens. And I'm so pleased to get a chance to talk to you about some ways you might want to think about teaching online on a camera, as we're doing so much of today. I'm going to share with you some tips and techniques that you might be able to use to make yourself more comfortable, more relaxed, and even more edutaining as a teacher. The first thing that I have to remind myself a lot as a teacher, and particularly when I'm teaching on camera and doing demonstrations like this, is to slow myself down. I have these natural bursts of enthusiasm when I'm teaching, and I can't help it, and you probably are the same way. We get excited when we're teaching, and I have to slow myself down a little bit. Sometimes when we put things online for students to be able to watch and use, they have to be captioned. And sometimes those captioning services for ADA compliance have a hard time keeping up with me when I'm talking really fast. So I try to remember first to slow myself down a little bit and get into the groove of just being a little bit slower. Now the second thing I want to tell you about in terms of tips is when you have someone like the great camera lady today operating the camera, the thing I want to remind you of is that that camera can often make you nervous. And the thing that you can do to get the camera off of you and make you less nervous is to have something in your hand. So before we started taping today, I got a little pruner here, and I thought, well, let me just take this and put it in my hands and use it in my teaching. So let's just say I'm going to be talking about pruning today. And I'm sure the people in the greenhouse would not like me very much if I decided to start pruning these nice plants, so I won't. But if I was having somebody like today tape me with a camera, I would want them to focus on the item that's in my hand. Get the camera off of my face and have that person focus on the item. It's going to make you less nervous and more conversational. So that's a really important point. Another thing to think about when you're taping things online is to be as conversational as you can be. And you know what? If you have to put some uhs and ums and ands in there and you fumble a little bit, that makes you more of a natural human being, and that's totally okay. Another thing to think about when you're teaching on camera, I often do, is I look around and I try to find teachable moments in my teaching. I try to find things that are occurring around me that might not be planned, but that I can direct the viewer's attention to. And sometimes I can plant, no pun intended, plant those teachable moments in the environment where I'm teaching and show those on camera. Very surprising, like we all of a sudden found this in this greenhouse, but I can use that to my advantage. Another thing to think about as you're thinking about producing a video and doing these things is to try to do small sound bites of information. Now today we're taping everything in one continuous block for you. But a lot of times when I work with folks and teaching on camera, I'll tell them, hey, think about what you're going to say in a short sound bite, maybe a minute and a half at the most, and then stop, and then start again, tape again, and blend those individual segments together. And I think it'll really, really help you. The final thing that I want to recommend to you today is it's just a practice of great teaching. We all think about great interest approaches, great anticipatory sets, great ways to start a lesson. Maybe you're going to be talking about photosynthesis in a greenhouse. If you start that lesson with a really good question, something to think about for your students to ponder and get ready for that lesson, get ready to learn, if you start that lesson, you start that television camera segment there with a question, come back to that question at the end and review the answer to that question. Brings a nice closure to the lesson, gets you ready for what you're going to be doing next. I tell you, I hope these tips are going to help you, and I have one more piece of advice. It is just to be yourself. Enjoy teaching through that camera and imagine what your students are doing as they're looking at you on the other end, smiling and laughing back with you. Envision that reaction. Have a good time with it, and good luck with it.